So I'm on here right now because I want to show you a couple tips. One, when there's smoke in the air because of the LA fires right now, things are really bad for a lot of people. I mean, it's devastating. I'm sure you guys have seen it out there. People losing their homes, people losing their farms, their businesses, their families' homes, their apartment buildings. They're losing their places to live, massive evacuation. I mean, there's all kinds of things. People are evacuating all around in LA and trying to get out there. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here just for a couple of tips. Number one, I think one of the big things is because the air is so dry, so dry, that the ash and the air, it just cuts through. It just gets into the lungs really easily. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people. So one of the things that you can do is you can wear like an N95 mask. It's going to help a little bit. I mean, it's obviously not going to protect you with flames and heavy smoke, but it can actually block some of the ashes. It can block some of the thick smoke, some of the toxins that are in the smoke, like the chemicals and things that are burning in furniture and carpets and wall boards and treated wood, all that, and plaster, all that stuff that's burning that's really toxic from houses and homes. So, there's a couple of tricks I want to show people while we're here. You guys coming on right here? This is great. But I want to first of all, I want to just say that if you were coming to the Café Gratitude pop-up dinners, the Medical Medium Café Gratitude pop-up dinners, January 15th, January 16th, we are postponing those dinners. So check your email because there's going to be notices going out to you. If you did purchase a ticket for that pop-up dinner on the 15th or the 16th, we're postponing it just, for a lot of reasons. One is just for protective health measures and everything else. It's really smoky and so forth out there. But at the same time, Cafe Gratitude they're open and they have medical medium dishes there. So if you're somebody, and you need to grab some food, that's a place to grab some really healthy food, which is really great. You can grab a medical medium dish in there if you're somebody that's doing medical medium tools and medical medium foods. So that's what's amazing about them in Cafe Gratitude. They're there and they have medical medium food on hand. So if you're traveling through or if you're relocating in the area, you can run in and you can get food there, dishes there, which is really incredible. So, but if you happen to have a ticket that's next week, it was supposed to be next week on the 15th and the 16th. If you did have a ticket and you were coming to LA to be there for the meet and greet with me, I'm not going to be there. So we're postponing it. And we'll have dates pretty soon, just not yet. And you'll get a refund in the whole bit. And then we will send out some notices and such so that you can actually get the tickets again and all that. So it's going to be great. But right now there's a lot of devastation happening. You guys know. I want to cover a couple of points. First is because the air is so dry, because here's the problem too with the smoke, the smoke inhalation that people are dealing with right now. Even if you're like miles away from it, you live miles away from it, but it's in the air because it's a lot of stuff. There's fire retardants in the air that they're dropping down. It's a dust particle, like almost like an aerosol that's floating around. People are going to be breathing that in. So if you're exposed and you're out of your house and so forth, one thing you can do is you take a towel like this, and I've said this before with other fires over the years, but you take a towel, okay, and you moisten it. So this is really important right here. You moisten it right here. I'm squeezing out the water, okay, just like that, all right, and you breathe through the towel, a moist towel. That's important. You can actually make it as thin as you want. You can double it up depending on how it feels. But you could do this too. You can hold it just like this, and you can put it over your face, and you can breathe through it. So what happens is the water is what catches a lot of the toxins, a lot of that dust, a lot of the ashes, all the stuff that's coming off of people's wall boards, all the paint that's burning on their houses, all the carpets, like I said, the furniture, all that stuff, and all the different chemicals, the household cleaners, They're all burning up in people's houses, all the aerosol cans, all the spray bottles of cleaners and so forth, all the oil containers in people's garages, gasoline in people's garages and all that. So all this stuff is in the air, plus what they're dropping on the fires, like the fire retardant and everything. They're dropping that all on everybody. And, and it's really tough. When that air is really, really tough. If you're dealing with it now, if you're in it, I feel so bad for you. But so one of the things, if you're moving around, you get a couple of towels like that. You keep them moist and damp. If you're traveling through it, you grab it, you put it over your face like this, and you breathe through it, and you'll see the difference. What happens is that air is so dry. Because that air is so dry, it's how it kind of gets you. It's not just the oxygen loss in the air. We're already somewhere around 19% oxygen as it is out there, give or take on what day, the atmosphere and everything else on this planet, and pollution and all that. But oxygen is going to probably go down to 15%, 14% in certain areas, somewhere around there. And it isn't just the oxygen loss, it's going to be the particles. It's all going to be the particles. And what this does is it grabs the particles. Moist towels grab the particles. And you can do it. If you're in your house, you don't have air cleaners, it's coming into the house a lot, you might want to do this periodically. And then you change it out. You rinse it out. You change the water out too. You do fresh water. And you dump that water out. You'll notice when you do it for a while, the water starts to get kind of skunky. And the water starts to get kind of, gets kind of murky. And that murky is how much is floating in the air. How much of that ash, how much of those particles are floating in the air. And it gets trapped in the towel. So, and then when things calm down or you get an air cleaner and you're able to, suck some of that up in the air, you're better off. And you don't have to have it real wet. It can just be damp. A lot of air escapes. This isn't like a mask. A lot of air escapes through a towel, through a shirt, okay? It's not like a really good mask, respirators on there and everything, filters on there. It's not like that. And even that, it escapes in. It's the moisture factor that's missing in the air. It's the moisture factor that allows it to really travel and get into the lungs and into the bloodstream. So I'm just letting people know. And maybe this doesn't even matter for you and you don't need to worry about this or think about this. You're nowhere near any of this stuff. But if you are, this is a great technique. It's a very stable technique. I mean, you don't want to go into a fire with it and expect it to help you. It's not like that. But it helps you if you're in your home, you're dealing with some smoke that's coming through, you're not leaving, you can't go, you're staying in that home, you're staying in that apartment, air's bad outside, the whole bit. You can do this. Or you got to go. You got to go get food. You got to get out of the house, smoky in there. And it's, and what happens if you put your shirt or you wear one of those masks that people wore, those black masks and so forth, those cloth masks and everything that people wore during the whole sea thing, the dryness just doesn't stop it. So those masks just don't stop it. I saw like one news guy earlier today on social, and the news guy had one of those masks, right? It's like the cloth one, the one that people wore during sea and still wear now. A lot of people do. And the guy was out there, and you see the air and the smoke and the ashes blowing around. I'm like, that's not stopping anything because there's no moisture in it. There's no moisture in it. It's just not there. So what we really needed to do was periodically, take a towel and just hold it over like this. And there might be another way to do that too, but hold it over like this and have it stuck on your face, put it right to your face, and leave an air opening, like a gap in there. So you've got some room in there, and you breathe. And like I said, that cotton, that fabric with the moisture grabs onto it. And if you feel like the air is really bad, the smoke's really bad, you could double it up. So you could do this then, instead of having it on its thinnest, like this, that's its thinnest, could be like a washcloth, whatever, right? Washcloth, this is just a hand towel, like a kitchen towel. You can have it at its thinnest. If for some reason it's really bad, then you double it up. This makes a huge difference. Now you double it up like that. Okay? Now it's double. Go right 2 layers. If it's really, really bad, you need to do 4 layers. That's 4 layers right there. Boom. Got your hands like this. Put it over your face. And you breathe. And that moisture in those 4 layers acts like a really strong filter. And then all those ashes, a lot of the toxins, the chemicals, the smoke, all of that, boom, it gets caught in there. So you're not getting so much into your lungs. So if you need to move around about, and get someplace or get food or go here, go there, because it's going to be there for a while. The smoke's going to be there for a while. It's not just going away tomorrow, and it's just not. It's actually just as bad, if not getting worse tonight until tomorrow for sure. And they don't have any, none of it's contained from when you look into it. If you're somebody that's lost your home, my heart pours out to you truly, because it's just devastating, everything about it. So, but once again, like I said, you can do something like this. It's a great tip. Great tip. Now, there's this packet. I don't know if you've had this before. It's a medical medium tool book right here. Okay. Environmental disaster air quality tools. All right. Including some air cleaners that are the best ones. So the best air cleaners. Other tools too. Supplementation, for after the fact as well. You get someplace, you're able, or things start coming down. Got to build your immune system back up, after getting everything. Because when it goes into the lungs and it goes into the bloodstream, what happens with chronic illness, when people have chronic illness and they're struggling, it could be a trigger. All those toxins, all those poisons floating around, metals. So the HMDS is in this packet right here, and you guys already do the HMDS. A lot of you guys do anyway. A lot of the people in the medical medium community do the HMDS. And so the reason why the HMDS is really good, because you're capturing metals that are going into the lungs and into the bloodstream and quickly into the liver, and you're capturing those metals, because that's what it is. All these homes are burning, all these buildings are burning, churches are burning, buildings are burning, all the office buildings are burning. And so you're thinking about, what is in that smoke? And it's a tremendous amount of metals. That's what's in there. Treated wood, carpets, wallboard, metal. It's just everywhere, including metal that's burning, including steel, aluminum, that's in the air, all of it. So it's a big deal. Shelly Mart says, do you have pamphlet? Yeah, link is in the bio. Link is in the description. Here it is right here. Shelly Mart says, do you have pamphlet downloadable? Yes, this is a downloadable right here. I mean, download it. Take a look. Link is in the bio. Link is in the description. There's a lot of different tools in here, including the best air cleaners for the situation, which are really helpful. So take a look when you get a chance. Download it. I mean, it can't hurt to download this and just get a reminder of some things. If you're already doing some things like HMDS, and you already know about this trick right here with the towel, then, fine. But there's a lot of other tools in here too. So give it a shot. So here it is right here. Environmental disaster air quality tools. Download right there. Really, really helpful. So, and you would think, when you think about the towel trick, how can that help? How can that help? It helps. It helps greatly. If you have experience with fires at all in your life, in some way, some shape, some form, maybe smoke from a wildfire out there in the past, or some type of forest fire, or some other situation, maybe a neighbor burns a fire pit every day, or a garbage pit. A lot of neighbors, they just burn garbage in different places. They're not even burning wood, they're burning treated wood and garbage and all kinds of scraps of things and house trash and everything, and you're dealing with something like that, but you can't do anything about it. This helps more than people know. More than people know. And so what happens, you'll notice if you use it a couple of times, and even if it's a half an hour, you're dealing with something where you have to open the doors in the house, open the windows for some reason, you open the doors to let a pet out or something like that, and then the smoke just barrels in, and you shut the door, and you don't have a good air cleaner or air cleaning system, and now you're just feeling like it's just getting to you, and it makes your chest heavy. And if you're somebody with chronic illness, it's really hard, really, really hard. It can be a trigger. I talk about smoke as being a trigger in the medical medium books. So I have over the years talked about that. It is a trigger. It's nothing to fear, but it is a trigger. And so protecting your immune system, taking care of yourself, all of that counts. All of that's important. That's why this is not just for, not just for the problem in the moment, like good air cleaners, and then the hand towel, the moist hand towel. It's also supplementation, building up your immune system, because that's what gets knocked down. So when we're breathing in all that smoke, that rogue smoke, that's just coming from all these different things burning out there, it's trying on the immune system. It's heavy on the immune system. It's difficult on the immune system. So it's important to, boom, jack up that immune system, make it stronger, get it in a better place. Very important. Very important. So keep that in mind. All right. All of that counts. Also, everyone is already fighting, guess what? The flus and the new bugs coming. So they name flus different things like, like different respiratory names and so forth. And they name flus differently all the time. But in the end, they're really just bad flus. And they like to change the names because they like to make it look like it's not a flu. They do that too. Reason why they do that, by the way, if you want to really know, is because it's getting out there finally. I've talked about it for years, and I've even talked about it in medical medium books and stuff. Flus don't just exist. They're not out there because they happen just to be out there. They're let out of the gate every single year. Twice a year, they let a new one out. They like to rename them. They rename them because it makes it look like they're not letting them out. There's that whole game that's played too when it comes down to bugs. But right now with everybody that's dealing with flus and they're dealing with respiratory bugs and they're dealing with that too. It's important to keep your immune system strong, especially with smoke. And this smoke is going to travel all around the country. Different wind currents are going to take it. The jet stream is going to take it. It's going to be just floating around everywhere, including all the fire retardants. So it's important to have options here. Here's you got the 7 top supplements that are critical. Make sure you download this. Make sure the link's in the bio, links in the description. It's really handy and good to have. It just is. Lemon, honey, ginger water, great for the immune system. Cucumber juice, because you want hydration on a different level to get poisons and toxins out of the bloodstream. So straight cucumber juice is a great option there. Let's see what else. So many other things too. Heavy metal detox smoothie. Grab the metals because the metals are in the air, heavily in the air. So a lot of people are going to be dealing with burning and melting aluminum, vaporizing in the air. So that's really tricky all on its own. Extractor smoothie, that's an option right there. Another tool. Jason. See. Look in there. Jason, please DM the medical medium account. If you can, okay? On Instagram. So Jason, DM the medical medium account on Instagram. See, brain shot therapies are really good. Toxic heavy metal exposure brain shot therapy. That's another really important one with this kind of smoke, with what's happening out there. That's in this pamphlet too. This is downloadable. It's downloadable. Just letting you know. There it is. Link's in the bio. Link is in the description. What do you have to lose? Very important. There is a chemtrails exposure. Very important too. Here's what happens, right? You got all the smoke out there, okay? Homes, houses, mansions are burning, from small houses to mansions to schools. Everything's just burning up right now. So what happens is then all of a sudden, higher powers on the planet take advantage of these situations, and they end up directing sea trail planes in the direction, and they end up dropping that too. Salt in the wound. That's how it's done. But that's the process. So not only is this happening, you got all the smoke and all these toxins in the air, but then all of a sudden it's like, yep, send the sea trail planes, send them on over, dropping out that too. It's not like they stop. It's not like they stop. There isn't some like magic wand to wave and be like, okay, well, we already have this problem here now with all these fires and all this bad smoke. Children with asthma are struggling. People are suffering from it. So why don't you just stop the sea trails in this area? Nope. Doesn't work like that. But that's how evil works. That's how darkness works. It's like you got all the smoke and all this stuff happening, and no higher power on the planet goes, all right, let's dial down all the sea trail planes. They have enough trouble. So let's get rid of those 1,400 planes that are going to fly over just in the next couple of days and drop chemicals out of them. I'm not talking about fire retardants coming out of helicopters. I'm talking about planes with sea trails. So let's just stop that. But they don't. So those are still dumping. They're just higher above all that smoke. Those are dumping their crap. And then you got the evildoers on the planet that are releasing the next bug, respiratory bug, which they already have. It's already on its way. Next few months, people are going to be coughing their guts out. So it's important to protect the immune system. Let's just be straightforward on that. Really important. So nobody's stopping the next bug they're releasing. Nobody's stopping the sea trails just because there's smoke. They still keep all that in. All that's happening. And the smoke. And the blaze. Yeah. Plus other stuff too. And that's how it's done. So you want to protect yourself. So in this pamphlet, you got the sea trail exposure shot. It is valuable. It is worth it. Very worth it. Really powerful. Got the pesticide, herbicide, and fungicide exposure shot. There's nothing better than these shots for this kind of stuff. Different healing foods to focus on while the smoke is happening, because here's how it works. Okay, unless you're just trying to survive and you're eating whatever you have to eat, nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to survive and you're in a bad place and you're figuring how to survive in that smoke and everything, and you're eating what you just need to eat, totally respect that, totally understand. Okay, of course. But there are some powerful foods you can eat to help get rid of toxins faster that you're inhalants that you're getting in your lungs. So that's important. And then we got the towel right here. If you have to go outside when air quality is poor, such as walking to your car or grocery store or traveling to your workspace, this simple tip can help trap and reduce inhalation of smoke and some of the toxins in the dust and smoke in the air. And that's it. Place a clean cloth under the faucet or in a bowl right here of water so the entire cloth is wet. Wring excess water out, like I did, of the cloth so it is damp but not dripping with water. Keep that in mind. Damp but not dripping with water. Use both hands to pick up the damp cloth, leaving some space between your hands so you can place it over your nose and mouth and breathe through the damp cloth. And like I said, if you're trying to go somewhere, you're going to the grocery store, you're traveling to a workplace, if you're in your house and the house is filling up, but you got nowhere to go and you just have to live with it, that's what you're telling yourself because of a situation, you don't have an option or opportunity really to go anywhere, the house is smoky inside, you can totally do this. It is a savior. And then air filtration recommendations in here too. So that's just some of the things right there in the environmental disaster air quality tools. Guess how much this cost? It's free, costs nothing. You don't have to get onto a membership on my website or social media pages or anything. You don't have to pay a monthly fee. I put this together with my own money, my own time, my team's time, and here it is. Julie, the link of this pamphlet is in the bio or in the description. You're on Facebook, in the description. So you can get it. You know? And it's crazy, you know? Crazy. Everything is for free with the medical medium stuff. That's important to know too, because nothing's free out there in the health realm now. I saw somebody trying to take jabs at like certain stuff of mine, you know, that comes from Spirit of Compassion, like the HMDS and stuff like that, the HMD, the heavy metal detox and so forth. And then they're like, yeah, instead of doing that, you should pay on my, you know, my website, my monthly fee. It was like $40 or something a month for all my information, you know, this guy's information or something. It's like, yeah, you're charging people, you're ripping people off with your $40 a month on your website for regurgitated bullshit information. How about making it for free for people? Give them that opportunity to decide what they want to do. Instead of making them pay and then it makes them feel like they have no choice because they paid or something. The whole thing is like demented. Anyway, that's for free. That pamphlet was put together for you guys. Pass it along. Tell somebody else. Here it is. And guess how much this cost right here? I don't know. Do you have a washcloth already? Because that's free. Wring it out. Put it over your face. So it's a really big help. It's a really big help. If that's, you know, if that's what you need to do. Okay? But yeah, like it's really, it's a demonic world. In so many ways. It really is. Because how did those fires start? It's a whole nother discussion. And like I said, no one's cutting off the sea trails over the fires. Nobody's cutting those off. They just let those pour out of jets and planes, whatever. And I know one's stopping the next bug they let out of the gate. They manufacture and let out of the gate. So, yeah, it's a difficult world. And if you're somebody with chronic illness, you've got to protect your immune system. Or at least start. Maybe something simple. Do celery juice. Do some celery juice. That's it. Don't add anything in it. Straight celery juice. Start with 2 ounces if you need to. Work yourself up to 8 ounces. Work yourself up to 16 ounces. If you really like it, feels good doing it, work yourself up to 32 ounces once a day. And build up your immune system. Clean up your liver. Pull that stuff out. Pull all that toxin, all that crap. Pull it out of the body. At least capture it while it's going in and flush out the liver. Do some lemon water too. That's another thing, right? You know, Spirit of Compassion, you know, what's incredible about Spirit of Compassion is lemon water was just like lemonade. It was refreshing. Put it in water, add a little sugar, add a little honey, right? That's what you do. But to flush the liver, Spirit of Compassion was like, well, no, you use this tool to flush the liver. You use this tool to flush the bloodstream first thing in the morning. That's what I love about medical meme information. It's really amazing. So cut a lemon in half. Squeeze it. So what I would do if I was in all that smoke and it was out there and I had to live in it for a couple of weeks or a couple of days or a month and it's in the air periodically, I would be doing, you know, lemon water every single morning, staying hydrated. But you don't have to stay crazy hydrated. You don't have to be like drinking tons of water. You don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to go and do that. Doesn't mean that's going to be helpful. But stay hydrated in the sense where instead of a cup of coffee only in the morning, you're doing 16 ounces, 32 ounces of lemon water, where it's a glass of water and you squeeze a half a lemon in there, and that's what you do. And you get that liver flush. You get that body flush. You flush those toxins out, especially if you're breathing in all that metal. And that's what people don't understand is Outdoor furniture is melting, all getting vaporized in the air. All the different metals getting vaporized in the air. It's crazy. I have information coming soon. Okay? And there's a question right there from Cynthia. Why does God and his angels allow this evil here? I have information about that very thing, that very question, coming really soon. It's all part of the spiritual information that my publisher will be releasing. And it hits that question directly. But get ready. You might not like the answers. You might think the answers are great. You might not like them. It's intense stuff. Those kinds of questions are never answered down here for a reason. I really believe that. But Spirit of Compassion has answered them. And has answered that question. And it is a brain exploder. It is a mind blower. And I have written down all of SOC's information about that question in a book. And we are trying to release it as quick as possible. My publisher's working really hard. So yeah. And that answer to that question, you will know. Like I said, it's not going to be for faint ears, faint eyes, when you read answers to those kinds of questions. Because that question, along with another 100 of really unbelievable, intense questions that people have been trying to get answers for centuries, are going to be answered for the first time. And that's the difference when you actually hear a voice and can get the information. I think at this point here, I've been promising to actually release spiritual information from Spirit, and I'm going to pull through with that promise. So, but, yeah, it's going to be really intense, really intense. Okay, so, you're ready? Cloudy says you're ready? All right. You guys, just wanted to show you these things. Remember, environmental disaster air quality tools right here. Once again, so sorry for anybody dealing with any kind of smoke or loss of property, loss of buildings, loss of houses and homes. Breaks my heart, truly. If you're in the Los Angeles area, anywhere around there, just know my heart pours out to you. Check this out, even if you're not up against anything like that, okay? And my heart pours out to anyone who's been injured in any way. I have had a smoke inhalation problem years ago. So I had some lung damage. Spirit of Compassion helped me heal. And it was lung damage because of breathing in smoke from a fire. And so my lungs were damaged from that smoke from a fire. And so it took a year to recover such, serious extreme damage. But because of Spirit of Compassion, I was able to do so. So I know what it's like. Anyway, good seeing you guys. Prayers go out to anyone dealing with anything, including chronic illness. Even if it's not related to any of this. My heart pours out to you. I'm proud of you for all you're doing. Okay? Keep up the good work. Just know that I care. Know that Spirit of Compassion cares greatly. Truly, you guys. Anyway, lots of love.